Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Kate Flicks on this beautiful Thursday. Thursday, yes. So let's wait for a few people to jump on. We've got the incredible Lillian Riki coming on today, and I'm super excited to chat with her. She is an incredible woman, and recently I just realised she's also an artist amongst all of her other incredible achievements. So I'm just going to bring Lillian on the camera now. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see. Sometimes always a bit of a glitch. There we go. But when you're jumping on, let us know where you're jumping on from. And here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. It's always a little
Hey,
bit...
how you doing, love?
I'm great. It's always a little bit funny at the beginning of a live when you're bringing someone on. Sometimes it's a bit of a glitch, but let me see. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hear me okay? Yep.
Yes, all good. So thank you for jumping on, and I'm super excited to talk to you this afternoon, almost tonight, about you and your journey. And the achievements you've had in your life are incredible. Everything, the author, teacher, parenting strategist, and I see also an artist as well. I love your paintings. They're amazing.
I was just working on one while I was doing a training. So.
Which one are you working on now? Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. So thank you for coming on, and I'm excited to chat to you about where a bit of your backstory and the work you do online now, and why you're doing it, and why you believe it's a great option for anybody, regardless of age, why it's a great option in our world today. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Lillian, and go for it.
Awesome, thank you. First of all, you're in trouble for giving my age away.
Well,
when I said that to you, and then I thought, she's terrible, gone and posted that, but that's okay.
Hey, you know what? Almost 60 is the new almost 40. Age, I believe that's age right. Is just a number. So,
absolutely.
And we're living longer these days. 60 is young. It's young. It's I certainly don't feel 40. I've just turned 40 and I don't feel 40 at all. So, but nothing to be ashamed of, I believe.
No, it's all relative, hey. And look, the years do go by so quickly, don't they? So a little bit about me, I'll try and keep it brief. So I'm originally a school teacher. First of all, I'm married. I live on the Gold Coast. I've got two amazing sons in their 20s and 30s. I'm a teacher by trade. I haven't been in the classroom since my 26-year-old was about 5, so 21 years or so. So pretty much since then, I've had an entrepreneurial journey. I've been in different businesses, predominantly network marketing businesses, but also some direct sales businesses, and also doing seminars, workshops, webinars with my parenting work, touring the country, spoken in front of thousands and thousands of people over the years, been on TV, radio, regular parenting strategist on radio. So parenting is a huge passion of mine, and my 6 books are actually about our journey with our youngest son. And it's interesting, Kate, because, we're talking about business, we're talking about lifestyle, and we're talking about my age. I'm not even 59 yet. I'm nearly 59, but 60 next year. So, and it's really got me thinking a lot about retirement. Like, when you originally asked me to talk, and you asked me to talk as a mum, well, I'm like, well, my kids are all grown up, but hey, I'm kind of at that other end of the spectrum. But I've been in business for over 25 years, so I've tried lots of different things, and I've been very successful in network marketing, doing it what I call now the old way, back when we used to just go and well, just put so many hours in and,
Yeah.
do home presentation after home presentation, had to become a product expert, etc. But we did have some really good success. Back in the day, we achieved the top level ×2 in one company that we were in, but that was a lot of damn hard work.
Mm.
And I enjoyed it. I have this kind of joke where I say I'm totally unemployable because basically I don't want a job. I'm 50, nearly 59 years old. I've never written a resume. I've never had an interview because I have this real entrepreneurial spirit. And whilst I've had some really good success in business, I've also had some mediocre success, and I've kind of, I guess, bombed a bit as well, as we all do.
It's all part of
Getting,
all part of the journey, isn't it? You learn from
yeah,
that, don't you?
absolutely. But giving, new things a chance. And I guess particularly over the last 5 years, and I know we actually met at one of the wonderful workshops you did. I've still got my thing behind me,
Your
my
vision
vision board
board.
behind me. I,
Oh,
I, I
I
need
love
to
that,
update
Dave.
it.
Yeah, that's it. So do I. I need to update mine.
I've got lots of other stuff around my office though. So basically, my journey has been, I call it a bit of a roller coaster ride. And my husband is a tradie. He's a really hard-working person. He has been exchanging time for money.
Yeah.
We did work together in the network marketing companies prior, but in the last 5 years prior to what I'm doing now, I've been in 2 different companies. And whilst there was some stuff about those companies I loved, obviously I'm not still with them, so they didn't work out for me as well. So I've always had that earning, to be the best I can be and to find something that not only is good for me, but, is going to allow me to help other people as well. And I understand that I'm probably, a bit older than a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing. And hey, it's a whole new learning game for me as well, but I'm so much loving it and loving the space that I'm in. And coming close to retirement, I really need to, smarten up my act as far as getting, some income in, because I just did some research, would you believe? They're saying if you want to retire at 60, you need to have 8 times your annual salary saved. So let's say you're on 80 grand, which is just an average sort of wage. You need 800, what's that? 6 8 of $480,000. But then I've read some other stuff that says you need between $1 million and $1.5 million to retire.
Yeah.
And if you want to live on just a modest sort of amount of money, you need 60 grand a year. So,
well,
and
I believe that. I believe that. And it's I know when I get to retirement, I don't want to rely on a pension, and I don't want my retirement years to be just survival mode. I want to actually live in my retirement. We work so hard, whilst we are in the workforce or whatever we're doing, raising children. And by the time you get to retirement, whatever age that is for you, it's the time you want to tick off all those things on your bucket list, not look at them and go, oh, well, I don't work anymore. How could I ever do those things? And,
exactly.
And it is about you can't survive. You can barely survive on pension, in my opinion. It's I was looking at it earlier, and it's, I think for a couple it's $1,300 a fortnight, a pension. So that's like and it's so expensive in Australia and New Zealand. It is so the cost of living is so expensive. So you really do need to supplement your income somehow, unless you plan to work till you drop dead.
And people are doing that now, Kate. People are working. It used to be women retired at 60, men at 65, but now people are working into their 70s even.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like I speak to so many people my age and younger. So you might say, right, Lillian, I'm only 40, so I've got some time to think about it. But I've got to tell you, at 40, I thought we were going to be ahead of the game. I thought we were going to be set. And here I am nearly 60, and I'm still looking for, like, we've done okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm still looking for ways to supplement my income. But I guess I've got a little bit fussy. I want to be able to make income and have a lifestyle at the same time, because for me, freedom is having the time the time, the financial backing, and to be able to have the choices. And my
Yeah.
biggest goal is to bring my hubby home. Like, he's 5 years younger than me, so he's only, you know,
Go
early to mid
you.
50s. Yeah. But you know, and people your age go, well, I don't want to wait till I'm 60 to retire. But I tell you what, it comes up really, really quickly. So
It does,
my
yeah.
advice, if you're listening in, is if you're in your 30s and 40s, don't think you've got 20 years, because I tell you what, in 20 years time, so many people in their my age, late 50s, early 60s, are still living from pay packet to pay packet.
Yeah, it's so true. And, you know, 20 years comes around very quickly. I still feel like I'm 20. That's 20 years ago. And
I
that
know,
feels
it's
like
crazy.
yesterday. It feels like yesterday. And I know. And I mean, how quick has this year gone? It's August. It's
It's
August.
crazy.
They'll
It's
have
just crazy.
the Christmas stuff up in the shop soon. And I think it's like every year is going quicker and quicker. And it's only 20 more before you're whatever age, you know. And for me, that's 60.
Exactly.
But what I love about what we're doing online is that it's bringing people in regardless of age. You know, we've got people in our community who are in their mid 80s, and they are, you know, they're on the calls, they're doing Facebook, they're doing social media, they're at events, and you know, they've just plugged into the same training everybody has. And it just goes to show that really age is just a number. We all have goals, we all have things we want to achieve in our lives, and life is so short. It really is. You don't
Yes.
realize it at 20 how short life is. So it's about just, the world has so many options available to us today that it wasn't available when, you know, 20 years ago,
I
5 years
know.
ago,
We
5 years ago. You know, it's just
No, it's
changing so
crazy.
quickly.
It's crazy. I know, when I think about, we didn't even have a normal phone when I grew up, you know, let alone a mobile phone, and
Mm,
computers didn't exist. I mean, like, the world is moving so quickly. And I think people now, Kate, really want to do business differently. So whether they're my age or whether they're in their 20s or 30s, I mean, if you'd asked me even 10 years ago if I would be working, you know, full time online, I'd go, don't be crazy. I barely know how to use a computer, you
yeah.
know. So, but you know what, I love the freedom. Like, as you said, I've taken up painting. I love the fact that I can work from home. If I want to work on my painting, I can. If I want to do that while I'm listening to an online training, I can. I went out for a beautiful walk today around the lake. You know, we have
Mm,
options when we work from home. So, and I'm not boohooing a job. However, they're not for me. Like,
yeah.
I guess, you know, I've always said, you know, and it's probably a little bit of my personality, there ain't nobody going to tell me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how much I'm worth.
Yeah.
So,
I love
you know,
that.
yeah, I've always sought my own, you know, my own businesses, etc. But, you know, I've had to get a lot smarter, because, you know, what I love about what we do now, and what I love, look, let's just even talk about network marketing. Network marketing has been my you know, personal development growth thing that I've done, you know, for the last 20 odd years. And I love network marketing, but I've also loved moving out of that traditional type of business into this more online, you know, the way of the future, the way that business really is being done now. And yes, I'm an old girl that's got to learn some new tricks. But I tell you what, as you said, there are people older than me, and there are definitely, you know, a lot of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s who are loving this as well. Because at the end of the day, Kate, we want two main things to have the life that we want. We want the money to be able to do what we want to do, but we also need the time.
Mm,
So I could be in a high pressure, you know, office job, or you know, as an executive of some sort, wearing beautiful clothes to work every day. But, you know, I'm out there working 10, 12-hour days, and it's all about, you know, production and getting the job done. And
yeah.
I just love the fact that, you know, we can choose how much effort we put in, and that we will actually be rewarded. And what I love about what we're doing now is the support from the community is so awesome. I love the
Mm,
community, and I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. So when we talk about, you know, what do we want to do to earn the money to do the things that we want to do, we want to be working with like-minded people. You know,
yeah.
When you get to my age, you know that like I'm not even interested in working with negative people anymore, with people who don't
No,
have the same mindset.
no.
Been there and done that.
Yeah.
So, so it's about, it's about quality of life, and it's about like whether you're working, a 9 to 5 job, and you just, want to do something on the side where you can hang out with, positive, like-minded people, and then earn some income along the way, or whether you just want to really get stuck into it and earn good income. It's there for everybody, no matter where you're at, really.
Yeah, very true. And for
Yeah.
me, the biggest thing I've noticed is the community coming into this.
Yeah.
I also have network marketing background, and I love that network marketing opened my eyes to this whole other world. And I've said that on, a couple of the interviews before. I have a traditional business, and it's hard work. It's relentless. It never stops. I love being my own boss. I love that I can go to the kids' sporting matches. I love that I can do school pickup and drop off. I'm so grateful for that. But I don't come home from my traditional business or at the end of the day and just switch off. It doesn't stop. You're constantly thinking, oh, I've got to get those quotes out. I've got to get those invoices out. Those people haven't paid. I've got to chase that up. I've got to, I've got to get back. I've got to get back to all these people. It never stops. If like my husband, he's full of a flu at the moment, but he still needs to go to work because that's what traditional business requires of you. You can't just go, oh, I'll just pull a sickie. Oh, I'll just call in sick, or you've got customers, clients who are expecting you to turn up, and you can't just
traditional business is a job that I'm due. It's a job that I'm due, so it's not even like
it's crazy. We've bought ourselves a job. That's what traditional business is. And
exactly.
I'm still, holidays are, you have to plan for a holiday in a traditional business where it's location bound. You have to plan for that months in advance, because that's income you are losing for every day you don't work. So as much as I am grateful for that traditional business, we've been in business for 11 years now, it's something that I don't see myself doing for the next 20 odd years, because it will kill my husband and I. It will kill us. We just can't physically and emotionally put ourselves through that for another 20 years. So that is why I looked online, because I knew that I didn't want to go back to work. I didn't want to go back to being in the workforce, whatever that looked like. I've worked in aviation, and so is my husband. I've worked in travel, and I love the travel industry, but I like to travel myself. I don't want to sell travel all day, every day. I want to travel myself. I've worked in hospitality. So it's the only other options the only other thing I was really drawn to was working online in some capacity. And that's where I heard about network marketing. I got into it 5 years. I learned a lot, and the personal development was a huge thing that I took away from that. And I've grown so much in 5.5 years purely because of network marketing. It really pushed me outside of my comfort zone. And everybody says the cliche thing, the magic happens when you push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like me doing these interviews this month is well out of my comfort zone. But with everyone that I do, I get off and I feel, wow, it's another thing I've accomplished, and I feel good about it. And that's what being in business, especially online business, really forces you to do. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone and do things that is just in any other capacity you just easily just push aside. So we've both had a similar background as far as network marketing is concerned, and now we've come into this space, which I believe really is the future of online business. It's really it's sophisticated, it's forward thinking, it's taking away the things of network marketing that I didn't align with, but it's got everything else, and the education in itself is just blows my mind whenever I log into the platform that we have, and I do you know, the next part of our training or education, I just think, wow, this is incredible that we have access to this.
Absolutely, it absolutely is, and I agree wholeheartedly. You know, going from the traditional way of doing network marketing to this, and it's almost like, Kate, I feel a little bit obsolete because, like in prior businesses, because I'm a real go-getter, like I'll just go and I end up doing all the presentations, the trainings, answering everybody's questions. I'm on call like 24/7, you know, like, and now I'm in this business. I'm like, well, there's not that much to do.
No.
There's not that much to do. I mean, there's the education side of it, which is fantastic, but the actual what you actually have to do to be successful in this, like I'm just my friends who actually introduced this to me, I was in with not the last company I was in, but the one prior, and we were both reached the same level in that company, right? And I'm not going to talk numbers, but we both earned about the same amount of money, and it took us about 3.5 years to earn, right? Now, in this business, I doubled that in my first month. So what took me 3.5 years to earn,
wow,
at that level, which was like about the middle level of the, you know, of the levels, both Daniel and I, in separate businesses, earned about that much money. It took us about 3.5 years, and in this, in 1 month. And that couple that introduced me to this have just hit our top level in this company. And in the last 2 months, they've earned more money than most people earn in a year. Like,
and
in
I
a
keep
job.
hearing these.
It's crazy.
I keep hearing these results, and it's not just the lucky person who got in first, or the, you know, the person who has a massive network that's, you know, just hitting it lucky. This is happening often. Not everyone's doing it, of course, because we can't say what your work ethic is, but the results that I'm seeing coming through are a lot more often than what I'm used to seeing in other network marketing companies. You know, you would constantly see the same people hitting those high ranks, the same people, you know, getting the recognition. But then there's the thousands of other people who you never hear about, and they just kind of fade away. But we're seeing, you know, these new people coming up, and you're like, wow, who are these guys? They're doing amazing. And it's always new people coming through the ranks, or coming, whatever you want to call it. So that's, you know, I watched this for a long time, and I also watched a large group of women come through this, and I watched all of them have massive success, you know, and they're still having success today. And that was 12 months ago. So that to me is, you know, huge validation of this business model.
And that's what has blown me away, because like being 25 years in the industry and knowing what it takes to get to the top level, we've got to the top level twice, got to, you know, 2/3 of the way, you know, a couple of times in a couple of other companies. And I know what work it took. I know how many people we needed to bring into the team to achieve that. I actually worked out, and I'm not normally a numbers person, but here's an interesting thing that I just worked out. It took for the people who introduced me to this, 97% less people to achieve the same potential income than it did in the company that we're in. 97% less people to earn the same money.
Why do you think, Lillian, that is? Is there a real kind of clear difference between what you're doing before to what you're doing now, that the results are like that?
Definitely. Well, first of all, I've only ever worked with small ticket items like health and nutrition products, makeup, skincare, supplements, etc., travel, membership, etc. And I've never thought about the difference between low ticket and high ticket. So with what we're doing now, we do have the choice to market different things, but many of us have chosen to work with an offer that is a high ticket offer. And because it's such an amazing product, and because it is a high ticket offer, the commissions are so damn good that it doesn't really take that many people to earn the same sort of money that you'd need to have hundreds or thousands of people, you know, getting little small commissions. So And the other thing that I love, Kate, is because it is a high ticket item, I find that when people come on board, they're more committed because they understand it and they are investing in that high ticket product and knowing that it's a good product, but also knowing that they need to or want to make this work, and they've invested that in themselves. So I find that we get people who are more committed to their success in this business. Whereas I've always said in network marketing, I've actually always said, look, often I find it's been too cheap for people to get involved.
Yeah.
Because they get involved, they've started a business for $100 or what have you, and then they're like, oh, I'm in business, but they don't treat it like a real business.
No.
Like, I don't know what you've invested in your traditional business, but when you invest money in a business, you want it to work. And you do what you need to do to make it work. So
that's right.
I think we're attracting a whole different sort of person. So we're looking for people who are like-minded, who really want to be, do, and have more in their life, and they're really open to just doing what it takes. And it doesn't really take that much. It just takes linking up. So if you're listening in and you're one of Kate's friends, just say, hey Kate, just what is this? And Kate can flick you some information. I really urge you to take a look at it, because sometimes we don't take a look at something because we think we know what it is. And because a funny little story. So when I went out of the company before last, my friends went into this and I went into something else, right? But the interesting thing was, while I was in this something else, I was committed, but I was kind of looking at the other side a little bit. I was looking, and I could see.
I think we were all person after.
I know. I could see person after person after person that I knew who were kicking big goals and making money and having success and having a heck of a load of fun. And whilst I was still focused, but I just but I was a little bit curious. And then I guess it just got to the point where I thought, look, you know what? I need to look, at the end of the day, we're all in business to make money, right? We want to be, in a good company with a good product and awesome people, but let's not be fluffing around. We want to make money, and that's what business is about.
Everyone wants to make money.
That's what business is about.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You want to go to a
make
job
it ethically.
Too. Yeah, that's it.
We want to make it ethically. We want to make it with integrity. We want to make it with a company and a product that we know is great. But when I was in that other company, it wasn't ticking many of the boxes. And having been in network marketing for 25 years, one of the biggest things I found was, even though, and this is not blowing my own trumpet, but I got good at things. I got good at doing presentations. I got good at answering questions, following up, closing, and all of those things I got good at. But you know what? Other people didn't, and other people would go, well, that's all right for Lillian, she's good at that, she's got 20 plus years experience. But when the new person was coming in, I was finding the duplication wasn't happening. So other people didn't want to go and do what I was doing because it was too hard. They didn't want to talk to their friends and family. They didn't want to pick up the phone and ring people to let them know about their business or their opportunity or their product. They didn't want to go out to meetings and do presentation after presentation. And that's the reason I looked at this, because I saw so many people who I knew, liked and trusted who were doing it. And I got on the phone and I said, come on, give me the lowdown. What's so good about this damn thing? And they go, Lillian, you just love it. You just love it. And I'm like, what's so different? What's so different? Oh, you just don't understand. You've just got to try, you just love it. And these were people that had they're not going to benefit from me getting in. They were just saying because they believed in their heart that it was awesome. And I'm like, damn, does this mean I've got to start something new? And I was really, really reluctant to, because having been in 2 companies in the last 5 years, I'm like, I really do not want to start something again. But you know what I said to myself? If not this, then what? Do I continue doing something that's not working? Do I go back to doing my parenting? And as much as I love, love, love my parenting, it does not provide you with financial freedom. It's actually more of a love thing. It's more of
your passion project.
I want to serve you and help you. Passion. Yes. So to make that profitable would have taken so much work and so much energy and all the stuff that I didn't want to do. So, and I love that what I've got, well, what we're a part of now has a proven system. It's all there for us. The education's there. I have not done one presentation in the few months that I've been in. I haven't had to do one training. Everything's there. I've just got to follow the system. Tick, 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 tick. The community, the system, the education, the
Yeah.
money,
Yes.
it's all there. So, if you're looking, like if you're 40 and think, well, I don't need to think like you do, Lillian, I've got 20 years to 60 or I've got 30 years to 60, let me tell you, first of all, start thinking about your future now. And secondly, why wait till 60? Like this couple that introduced me to this business, that have tried so many other businesses, now are making the sort of income that they have financial freedom. They've got 4 children between them, and they can do whatever they want because they're now making multiple 5-figure a month income, and it's taken them 10 months. And it's not
Yeah.
to say that everybody's going to do that in 10 months, but when I see more than 1 or 2 people achieving, like you said, Kate, when I see person after person after person after person achieving, I'm like, well, if they can, I can. So if you've got a bit of drive, if you've got a goal or a passion to have more in your life, and to say, well, bugger 60 at retiring, I'm 40, I want to be retired at 45, and I want to live that lifestyle at 45 while my kids are still young and I can do stuff with my kids. This is the sort of business that people really need to be looking at. It's the way of the future. And I believe our educational platform, I know I'm just going on and on, Kate.
I love it. No, it's perfect.
I just think, look, when I get passionate about something, I get passionate until I'm not, but I just, and sometimes I've been passionate about stuff that hasn't continued, but I see where this is going. I see the vision of the company. I see the vision of the platform. I see the vision of the people, the leaders, their passion for wanting to help people just to be, we make money by being ourselves. I post pictures of my paintings and what I'm doing, and
and
people
that's the
are
way
like,
it should be.
I
That's the way it
know.
should be.
And
We should be posting that on social media. That's why it's called social media. It's people don't want to be constantly sold to on their social media page. They want to know what you're doing in your life. That's how they, start to know, like, and trust you. And then they might ask you what you do. But constantly to be pushing your business or your products, which is what I used to do because I didn't know any better, on your social media feed. And, it's just about being yourself online and, like you say, sharing your passions and the things that you love to do, and like doing these interviews where we're really just having a conversation about, why we do what we do. And if it resonates with you, fantastic. But we don't post about that all day, every day. And, I've been there and I've done that. And so many people still do that because they just don't know any better, because they haven't been taught about branding and attraction marketing and how to do great copywriting, which is, I didn't know what that was.
I've been listening to today.
So it's really teaching you the real fundamentals of business, and what we're learning can be applied to any business. It's not just that you can just apply that to a certain type of business. I'm using what I'm learning now for my traditional business, and we're seeing results in that. So it just goes to show that what we're learning really is real world business education and social media education as well. So all your ads and things like that, which, whatever you then decide to do in the future, you have this education for life that you can just, you can turn your hand to any avenue that you wish in the future, because no one can ever take away that education that you've gotten. It's, whereas I've always been very focused on a particular company, a particular product, compensation plan. But if that ever was taken away from me, I'd be lost, because it's not me. I've attached myself to something that if it's gone, I'm a nobody. you know. So
Exactly.
that's what I
Yeah,
that's what I
I'm with you
love
on that.
about this, you know. And
Yeah, yeah,
like you were saying
absolutely.
before, you know, for me, um, I don't believe in retirement as such. Like, I want to continue always doing something. It's more so the retirement from something that you're not passionate about. But if you're passionate about something, you don't ever want to retire from that. You know, having your brain constantly working and doing things that you love keeps you young. So if you're
Absolutely.
passionate about your work and that you're helping people, then, you know, that I've seen people and I've heard about people who retire from their job and their health deteriorates because they don't have anything to live for anymore. And if they don't have the funds to do the travel and all the things on their bucket list, then their health deteriorates. I want to live now while my kids are young. I want to show them the world. My husband and I used to be work for Emirates and we flew all around the world, and I want to show my kids that while they're young, before they're like, oh, go away, I don't want to know you. I want to show them now, you know. But I
Exactly.
can't do that with a traditional business. I need to think outside the box. I need to adapt and move with the times, and that's why online. That's why so many people are moving into an online space, because it just
It's
gives
the
so
only
much
way.
more
Yeah.
flexibility. So yeah,
It's really well, it's probably not the only way, but it's the way for everyday folk like us, like
yeah,
that, you know. And because at the end of the day, you know, I think most people understand the difference between active and passive income. You've got to have passive income.
mm,
You know, my husband and I were talking yesterday. Now, I'm usually a five-star girl when it goes to travel. My husband's dream is to buy the huge big four-wheel drive thing that he wants and a camper van. But I said, as long as it's a swish one with a comfy bed and a shower and a toilet and a
yes,
kitchen. So because we've done a lot of international travel over the years, we've been very, very fortunate. You know, we've done two huge big overseas holidays in the last few years, but he wants to see Australia. So we were
mm,
literally just talking about me packing up my paints and my paintbrushes and my, you know, my easel, and actually going and painting stuff around Australia
yeah,
instead of, you know, sitting inside painting, and get out and see the world. But, you know, I have freedom with my business, but he's still
mm,
stuck. I'm going to use the word stuck. Like, he's still in that business just for a little bit longer until we can, you know, get the income going to the point where we can comfortably say, right, you don't need to work. My business is going to allow us to travel the world, whether it be the world or whether it be the country,
mm,
and do what we want to do. You know, go away for 2 or 3 months at a time if we want to, or go away for a week at a time if we want to. Last time we went overseas, we went for 10 weeks. I want to go for at least 12 weeks next time, you know, and be able to do that and not be stressed about the income that we're not making
yeah,
when
that's
we're
right.
away.
Yeah,
So, but yes, definitely to be able to achieve that at your age, I mean, when your kids are young, just imagine, you know, doing that with your kids, you know, whether it be
mm,
around Australia or whether it be,
yeah,
and all we have to do that business is to take our mobile phone with us, pop a few posts up every now and then, a bit of information to people every now and then. And that's the other thing that I love here, Kate. It's just reminded me, like in the past, when we've given information to people like about our product or a business, we've had to do all the following up, answer all the questions.
mm,
Oh my gosh, what I love about this is it's all in, the system's all in place. So
yeah,
if you ring me, Kate, or if you message me and go, well, what are you doing, Lillian? I flick you something to look at. I say, this is the next step. You do the next step, and then it's all automated. And then at the end of it, somebody's going to say, hey, guess what? Kate would like to come and join you and do with this offer or whatever. I'm
yeah.
like, cool.
I
You
know,
know,
it's bliss.
it's it's yeah, it is,
It's bliss
and
compared to
that's
what we
why
had.
I know. Well, I mean, even in the past, because my husband's actually said, well, in the past, with the type of business we did, we still couldn't leave for 3 or 4 months because we had to be there to
Mm,
do all the stuff. Whereas now, as long as we've got Wi-Fi every now and then to be able to plug in
yeah,
and you know, answer a question quickly or send some information to somebody, we can literally travel almost full time
mm,
doing this business. And then, you know, once your income is coming in nice and regularly, like, you probably don't need to do much at all. But the more stuff you do, the more people want to know how you're doing it. So it almost makes the business easier when you're out there doing stuff, because people
That's
are like,
right.
well, how do I get to go and get a 4-wheel drive and a camper van and not have to work and be able to do that? Or how do I go overseas 3 times a year with my kids when I've got a job or a business, you know?
Yeah.
So it's allowing, yeah, it's allowing people of all ages to, you know, you don't have to be my age and thinking, oh, bugger, I'm nearly 60, you know, I need to do something. And, you know, my husband and I have had a roller coaster journey with finances. We've actually been pretty well off at one stage. We built a beautiful big 50 square home in Brisbane, gorgeous house. We lost it. Long story. Lost our house, lost everything, found ourselves in major debt, and a few years ago literally had to start again in our 50s. So, you know, it doesn't matter what age you're at. You know, there are all sorts of people with all sorts of stories who want more in life.
Yeah.
And if you're just the tiniest bit curious, just reach out and say, what are you girls on about? Show me what it's about, Kate, because I need to do something, you know, and sometimes people think they need to do something, but they don't ever take action. So I'm just going to urge you to just take a look and take action, because it'll take you 40 minutes to have a look, and then you can go, yeah, that's for me, or it's not. And it could just be, you could just be, you know, really saying thank you for doing this live, and thank you, you know, for you know, for, for putting this out there, because, you know, people are looking, and people want more, don't they? They want
They
more.
sure do. People, I heard on the radio today that 1.1 million Australians live under the poverty line. You know, we're only a country of what, 26 million, 20 something million? Not even. So, you know, that's a huge number. So people are looking, people are seeking alternatives to what they have now, or, you know, things in addition to what they have now. I know I'm grateful that somebody urged me to look at a webinar so that I'm here, because I can truly see that this is a vehicle for change for my husband and I, and it's starting to happen now, and I'm so grateful for it. I know by the end of the year, you know, we're going to be able to go on that, you know, 2-week holiday that we've had planned for a year now, and not have to worry about not working in our business. So
make it 4 weeks. Make it 4 weeks.
I will. I'll put that on my vision board.
Yes, make it 4 weeks. A good holiday has to be at least 4 weeks.
It sure
Just
does.
Get into it in 2 weeks.
I know. But I want to thank you so much for joining me on this call, Lillian. I've absolutely loved chatting with you. And if anybody on the call,
wasn't it?
Oh, I love it. But that's how it is, you know, just a normal conversation. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you catch the replay, let me know you caught the replay. And if you have any questions for Lillian or myself, just pop it in the comments, or just reach out to either of us. But thank you so much, and I've loved chatting with you. And have a fantastic night, Lillian. Everybody else, have a great night, and I'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Thanks, love. Bye.